It's a four-letter word. I'm sure you know how to read. But the unfortunate state of our reality is that most people end up losing the day before it even starts, whether that be due to their phones, procrastination, distraction, whatever the case is. But in this video, I'm going to be giving you a very simple 4-step morning flow that allows you to go into any day with the right framework, with the right state of mind, and you'll end up winning by the end 100% of the time. And if you're somebody who's looking to regain your focused time back so that you can actually make genuine progress towards your goals, I've started a school community where I'm teaching everything. And no, click the first link in the description. Now, let's get straight into it, right? So again, right, unfortunately, a lot of people end up losing the day before it starts, but that doesn't have to be the case for you. You clicked on this video because you want the opposite of that reality. And the first step to going into the day with the right level of strength, effort that's going to allow you to win every single time, well, first you need to go into it with no input. Right, and what do I mean when I say that? An input, as the name suggests, is something that you are inputting into yourself, right? Now, there's good inputs and there's bad inputs. Good inputs, healthy food, knowledge, information, lessons that you're learning, right? These are good things you want to take in. A bad input is waking up first thing in the morning and, oh, let me pick up my phone. Oh, my goodness, Instagram, TikTok, haha, I've seen this reel 500 times already, right? That's a bad input. Now, the reason for that is, imagine that, I give you a bunch of junk food, right? Here's some donuts, cake, cookies, ice cream, right? Tastes good, right? Oh my goodness, vanilla ice cream, it's so delicious. Vanilla is the best ice cream flavor. You can debate me if you want, it doesn't matter. It's the truth, right? But I give you a bunch of sweets, right? And then I hand you some Brussels sprouts. You're going to be like, no, what? I'm not eating that. That's trash, right? I just ate all this delicious, sweet, chocolatey goodness, right? I'm not eating those Brussels sprouts. Why? Well, because your taste buds have been set to a higher level, essentially, right? You've tasted all of this good food, all of this, this yummy stuff, right? The junk food, right? And when you see that healthy food, you see that salad, I'm trying to give you this broccoli, you're just going to knock it out of my hand, right? You don't want to eat it, right? And just right. Right, you're thinking about it, you're like, I don't know how to draw a disgusted face, so I'm just draw a sad face, right? Because you don't want to eat it, right? Because your taste buds have been primed to eat all that junk, right? Now, you're just not going to eat, and obviously it's not going to be very good for your health, right? That same principle applies to how you start your day. When you go into the day, scrolling, like YouTube, right? All this social media, right? TikTok, Instagram, you know what it is, right? What that does to your dopamine, to make a little graph, is puts it up here, right? Your dopamine, well, right up in the morning, boom, just shot straight up, right? And the problem with that is any type of work you want to do throughout the day, rather than be up here, is going to be down here. Right? And now your dopamine has to go from this fun, excited state all the way down here to get some work done. And you're not going to want to do that. You're going to feel a lot of resistance in doing that, right? It makes it very difficult to focus, very difficult to lock in, and very difficult to get anything done, right? So rather than going straight into your morning and feeding yourself junk food, right, you're going to start with just nothing, right? Again, when you wake up, your dopamine, I'll make this one blue. When you wake up, your dopamine is, at a very baseline level. It's not, it's pretty low, right? It's down here. Right now, all you see, oh, okay, you mean now the work is above that baseline, right? It's above that level, meaning you're going to gain dopamine by doing the work, right? Rather than starting off with all this trash, this social media, simply start without giving yourself any inputs. Wake up, get straight to work. Pro tip here, there's this tactic called eating the frog, essentially doing the hardest task first, right? That way, rather than starting high and your dopamine has to drop all the way down, feeling a lot of resistance, it starts low and progressively works its way up as you get more things done throughout the day, right? Starting the day off with no inputs, with nothing, It allows you to have the right state of mind, the right framework of thinking, right? That's going to it's going to remove any friction that you would normally have in doing the work, right? That hard thing, oh, that project, I can't do it. I'm too much work, too much everything. You're gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna just get this thing done, right? Because there's nothing mentally blocking you from doing so, right? So the first thing you want to do is go into your morning every single day with no inputs. So let's go ahead and cross this out. All this junk. No ice cream, no cookies, no Instagram, no TikToks. I don't care how funny you think that reel is, how funny you think the creator is, right? Just cut it out, right? So that's step one. Step one of this beautiful 4-step morning flow that I have developed after hours upon hours of painstaking contemplation, right? Going up to the mountains in Tibet, really, really figuring out, what this was all about, right? But step two is motion. And no, I'm not talking about getting paper, as fun as that is, right? Motion, what I mean is like getting active, moving, right? And again, when you start off your day with some sort of physical activity, right? This is beneficial for 2 reasons. One, because it's healthy, right? We can, there's not really too much to explain there, right? Getting active, it's just good for your body, right? Taking walks, exercise, working out, doing some shadow boxing, getting some training in on the heavy bag, right? Getting your body into motion, it's just good in general, right? It's going to keep you healthy. It's going to keep you looking good. It's going to keep you feeling good, right? It does wonders for your energy, right? You're waking up, kind of getting you out of that foggy state of thinking like, oh, I'm so drowsy, I can't get any work. Nah, getting some exercise is going to completely remove that, right? Secondly, what it does to your mind, because again, right, like I mentioned earlier, that state of fog, right, that lacking of clarity is getting removed, right, through you activating your body, right? It allows your mind to get to work as well. As you're working out, you're going to start thinking, you're going to start planning things throughout your day, right? Mentally, getting in motion first thing in the day. I don't know why I put 2 L's for mental, but essentially, it provides that clarity that you need to go into your work, right? It's also training your discipline as well, right? When you can get up, when you can wake up, get straight to work, right? Get straight to the exercise, hit the gym, do your calisthenics, whatever your routine is, right? Different things for different people, right? Whatever the case is, right? When you're able to get up and do that day in and day out, you're training your mind, right? I can get up, I can do this hard thing. Oh, I just got to sit down on a computer, type some words, easy peasy. Oh, I just got to, do this report. I got to read this book. I got to do whatever this is, right? It's like you've trained your brain to essentially that work task, that thing you need to do to actually make the progress, the thing that's going to move that lever forward to bring you closer to your goal, right? It's not something difficult for you anymore. It's something very frictionless. It's something very easy, right? Working out, exercise, it's very, you see these guns, man, you think this just came out of nowhere. No, this was painstaking effort, right? So essentially getting into motion first thing in the morning is there's arguably nothing better that you could do to start your day, right? There really isn't anything better, right? So step 2 is getting in motion. Very simple, not much to talk about here, right? And step number 3 is a little word that I like to call clarity, right? Because again, going into the day, if you don't have a plan, right, if there is nothing set in stone, then you're going to get nothing done, right? It's very simple. A equals A, right? When you wake up, when there's no plan, when you have nothing plotted out, there's nothing blocked out, there's no, I'll explain it like this, right? Your morning is kind of like, it's like this circle, right? And the problem is, rather, your day is like this circle, right? And when this circle is empty, what that creates is a vacuum, right? This is a vacuum. Vacuum in space, right? So you see in the movie where like the spaceship will break and then everything gets sucked out, right? That's what a vacuum is, right? It's this void that needs to be filled. And the problem with having nothing inside here is that it's going to get filled. But what is it going to get filled with? Oh my goodness, that is a beautiful question you've just asked, right? It's going to get filled with scrolling, distraction, just wasted time, right? Basically, no real benefit here, right? Because again, these are things that are naturally, the path of least resistance, right? Our body, our brain likes to maintain the state of status quo. It wants to do what's easy, right? That's why you find it so easy to just open your phone and scroll, because you're able to get dopamine, you're able to get that stimulation without putting in any effort, right? Which is why when there's nothing in that day, when there's a void there, it's simply going to get filled with the thing that is easiest, the thing that is most natural. The problem with that is if you're distracted already, if you're scrolling, if you're wasting time, well, you're not going to accomplish anything. Again, A equals A. If you want to get B, i.e. success, achieving your goals, accomplishing the things that you want to do, well, there has to be something in this hole. There has to be something filling it, so there's no longer a vacuum. Right? Very simple, which is why you need clarity. You need to plan your day. You need to, have at least one big goal, one big thing that you're going to accomplish. And then, again, but you need to write this thing down, right? Because if it's not written down, if it's just floating in your mind, well, eventually your mind is going to get fogged and clogged and cluttered with a bunch of other things, right? So you need to write it down. Write it down. Right? Because once it's on paper, once it's set in stone, it can't be changed anymore, right? It's just there, right? You can write it on a whiteboard, your notebook, in Notion, doesn't matter, right? As long as it's physically outside of your head, right? You've set that thing in stone, right? So now you know at the very least what your direction is going to be. Me, I like to list things out a little bit, right? Because there are multiple things I need to get done in a day. So, okay, I got to get this video done. I got to write this script. Okay, I got to make sure I exercise, right? Once I write all of these things down, right, doing this, usually you can do it at night or right after you wake up, right? Just depends on what kind of person you are, right? But once you've written that thing down, right, you're starting your day off with clarity because you know the path that you need to walk. So you're going to walk that path. Again, when there's nothing there, there's so many options. Oh, I could go this path. I could go this path. Oh, this path has Instagram and TikTok. Sounds fun. Sounds easy. Let me go that way, right? But again, by writing it down, you're eliminating every other option. There's only one thing that you can do, the thing that brings you close to your goal. So you're going to do that thing. Again, A equals A. Very simple. Nothing complicated going on here. It's just basic logic. And number 4, our last and final beautiful and just, succulent step within this process, right? It's, again, right, nothing complex, right? Nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. Is you want to prime the work, right? You want to prime the work because, again, especially if you're going into your day doing the most difficult thing, right? It's like you're trying to climb a mountain, right? This is the point right here. This is what you're trying to get to. You're at the bottom. You're like, oh my goodness, how am I going to get to the top, right? You got question marks over your head because you don't know what to do. Right? And again, climbing a mountain seems like a very, very big thing, right? But by you priming the task, i.e. preparing it beforehand, if you're going to wake up and finish this project, well, then open the project beforehand. If it's an essay, okay, let me just open the document, right? Have it open my computer, maybe write the title, headline, whatever the case is, right? Essentially set the thing up beforehand. In my case, my whiteboard is literally just in my room. It's not really much I have to do when I want to record. I get up. Right there, right? Not much preparation that goes into it, right? My lights, I keep them in my room as well, right? Very simple. Just move them into the right position. Boom, I can get straight to work, right? There's not much mental turmoil that I have to go through when I want to start recording, right? Because I've already prepared the space beforehand. When I want to write my scripts, right, it's already open on my computer, right? I do it in Cortex, have the documents already open. I have templates for the type of scripts that I'm going to write. Just duplicate it, boom, I can get straight to work, right? It's because I've set all these things up beforehand. There's no friction when I want to go into that work task. Essentially, what I've done is turned that mountain into a little hill, right? You're like, oh, it's just a hill? Easy peasy, right? Again, B equals B, right? Not too complicated, right? You want to prepare it beforehand. So again, this is going to have different preparation for different tasks. Maybe you want to get up and exercise, right? Okay, boom, have your shoes, workout back, right? I'm sure you've read Atomic Habits before. It's not complicated stuff, right? Nothing in this video is too complicated. It's just combining it all that makes it a very frictionless system that allows you to get a lot of things done. right? So essentially through priming the work, right, you're turning that mountain into a hill. It's not that difficult. It's not hard at all. It's not, you're not, if your gym teacher told you to walk up that hill, you're not going to start crying and falling to your knees. You're going to be like, oh, okay. Simple. Right now, if we told you to climb Mount Everest, you're like, well, hold on now. That's a little crazy. Let's slow down a little bit. Right? Again, it's levels, right? It's all mental, right? Focus, it's a very mental thing. When you can trick your brain into thinking the task is easy, when you prepare beforehand, well, it's not going to be difficult at all to get into that task, right? When you apply that to your work block, to anything that you are doing, when you start your day correctly, when you start your work correctly, you're going to be able to win the day because you're starting off with multiple wins, right? You woke up, you got some exercise, you get your work done, right? Now your brain is in this state of, wait a second, I can do this, I can get things done. Let me keep doing this and keep getting things done, right? And when you stack that day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, you're not going to recognize the person that you become. You're going to accomplish so much, achieve so much, you won't even know what to do with all of your success, right? Very interesting stuff, right? But essentially, if we were to summarize what was discussed within this video, very simple. If you want to win every single day without fail, the first thing you need to do is no inputs, right? Stop starting the day with TikTok. You're ruining no inputs. Next, motion. Third, clarity. Write it down. And last, you want to prime the work. I'll just write prime. Prime it. Right? When you combine all four of these, I guarantee without fail that you're going to have a successful day. So hopefully you found some value in this video. Hopefully you learned something new, and hopefully you've realized that you don't have to suffer every single day from distraction and procrastination and wasted time when you can literally feel your potential. You feel that you could be doing so much more, that you could be so much greater, but you're losing to your phone, to the distractions, right? When you start your day off like this, you're going to be able to step into that potential, become that person that you've always envisioned yourself to be. So again, follow these 4 steps. I guarantee you'll get where you're trying to be in life. And for those of you who want that more actionable plan, something tailored specific to you, wanting to come out of that distraction so that you can make genuine progress with your goals, I've started an elite community, first link in the description, and I'll see you on the inside. Other than that, you can probably click this video here, or it might be here or there if you want to learn something new. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.